I asked Shalyn King, my good friend, to be my student for the day. Shalyn is a second-grade teacher in Southwest Michigan and is often looking for new and creative ways to expand learning. I had Shalyn watch the video, Programming for Non-Programmers, before we met and asked her to think of an idea for a web page that she could use in her classroom. I had Shalyn come to my house so I could observe her coding. Due to the amount of time it takes to edit quality audio and video, I decided to use screenshots and take notes on her process. I gave Shalyn a code cheat sheet broken down by the HTML elements with end tags and those without. I asked her about her previous experience with web programming. She said she had to create many web pages in college and that she is comfortable with HTML, but JavaScript is fairly new to her. She said she was confident she could figure it out. Shalyn opened her laptop and was ready to start programming. Shalyn explained that she wanted to create a web page that would ask her students a math question. Shalyn wanted to ask her students the following question. There are 9 blue marbles and 5 red marbles in the bag. Mary put in 6 more marbles. How many marbles are in the bag now? She said she would use JavaScript to verify if the answer is correct or incorrect. Shalyn opened Notepad, which was the software I suggested using in my lesson plan. She said her preferred web browser was Google Chrome. Shalyn started coding by typing her start HTML tag and her end HTML tag. She created space between and put in a start head tag, a start title tag, and an end head tag. I noticed immediately that Shalyn had missed the end title tag. She grabbed the code cheat sheet and started comparing her code to the sheet. She noticed that her title element is missing an end tag. She added it in. Shalyn inserted space in her HTML file and added a starting H1 tag. She typed Math Adventures and ended it with an end H1 tag. I've noticed another coding mistake here. I suggest that she save her file at this point and run the debugger. My hope is that she will discover her own mistake through debugging. Shalyn saves the file and runs the debugger. She was able to see that her web page does render correctly, however, she is missing the body tag. This missing tag does not prevent her web page from displaying, but does not follow proper HTML coding standards. Shalyn then added a start body tag and an end body tag. Shalyn continued coding and put in 2 break tags. She then inserted her question, followed by 2 more break tags. Shalyn then added an input element. She checked the code cheat sheet and adds the name, value, and type attributes. Shalyn aptly remembered to use quotation marks around the attributes. Shalyn continued coding and added another input element with a type of submit. She gives the submit input the value of check your answer and gives the onClick attribute the JavaScript function of check answer. Next, Shalyn adds the script element with the type attribute of text/JavaScript. She mimics the code on the coding cheat sheet for the JavaScript function and changes the JavaScript function name and variable name. She changes the code to the correct answer of 20. Shalyn is able to avoid a lot of common JavaScript syntax errors by mimicking my code. I am surprised at how fast she has adapted to programming. She saves her web page and runs the debugger. Since there are no errors, she tests out her page. She is excited to see that her web page properly works. Not knowing Shalyn's experience with programming, I was surprised how quickly she picked up web programming with HTML and JavaScript. She was able to remember many HTML elements, but did rely on the code cheat sheet to remember syntax and attributes. I wondered how she would have mastered the JavaScript if she had not had the cheat sheet to rely on. However, there is no programmer that knows all code, and we must all rely on outside information to help us with our code. When I use this lesson plan in the future, I would be interested to see if using different software for coding or if using different software for debugging changes the outcome. It would also be interesting to see how well the lesson plan goes without the coding cheat sheet. I think this lesson plan lays the groundwork for non-programmers to grasp basic web programming knowledge. It is my hope that non-programmers could use the given information in expanding their own ways of teaching.